Thank you so much for everyone for joining us this evening, and welcome to our largest au pair event in 2021. My name is Laura Vitiello and I work with Cultural Care, and I'll be your MC for the evening. And we're so excited to have you here to hear directly from our program participants. I'd just like to say before we get started, if you have any questions this evening, our chat is available. Your questions will only be visible to our Cultural Care team, who will respond directly to you so that we can protect your privacy. If you don't get a response tonight, directly this evening, don't worry, we'll follow up from your local office shortly thereafter. So, okay, let's begin. I'm going to pass the mic over to Anara in Spain to introduce our first part about exploring the USA. Anara?
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining. We're so happy to have you all here. My name is Ainara, and I was an au pair myself. I know that many of you are in different parts of this program. Some are just starting to learn about it. Others are already talking to host families and future host families. So I hope that all of you get a better idea about what the program is. And I know that a big part of this program is traveling. And at least that was for me, that was my case when I became an au pair. And that's why we want to present you four amazing au pairs that are here with us and are going to share their own experience of traveling in the States. So Laura, if you go to the next slide, I would love to present you Luna and Marina, who are two Argentinian au pairs, currently being an au pair in Kentucky and Virginia. Then we will also talk to Dora and her traveling experience, she's currently an au pair in Utah and is originally from Hawaii. And last but not least, we will talk to Lian, a South African au pair that is currently in California, and she will tell us all about her trip with her host family to Utah. So first, I would love to know a little bit more about Luna and Marina. They're here. Maybe say hi and unmute yourself, because right now you are the ones who we want to listen to. Tell us, Luna and Marina, all about your trip to Alaska, and maybe you can start telling us how did you guys met?
Yeah. Okay. Hi. Hola. My name is Luna. We are friends with Marina since August 2019. We met each other at the airport when we were leaving, like when we are starting our trip coming here. Marina, she was an au pair in Virginia and I was in New York. So for that reason, we did a lot of trips. Like she went to New York and we did weekends together, or I went to DC and we spent the weekend together too. So we started like that. And the second year, Marina, she moved to San Francisco. So she's in the other coast right now. And we decided to spend New Year's together, like 2020. And we did like a road trip for all California coast. We started in San Francisco and we finished in Santa Barbara. In the middle of that road trip, we spent like 10 days together, and I started saying like, okay, I want to go to Alaska. I want to see the Northern Lights. I really want to see it. So I started saying to Marina, so please, let's go. It's going to be amazing. It's like once in a life adventure. So we really need to do it. So she needed to talk with her host family. My host family, it's okay with me traveling. They don't have any issues. I need to wear my mask all the time, obviously. And we try to avoid like big places with a lot of people. Before traveling to Alaska, we did the COVID test because they asked for it. I think we did like 3 COVID tests in different days. So we were super sure about it. But we started planning the trip. We start talking about it in January. We changed the dates like 3 or 4 times. But I don't know now, Marina, if she wants to talk about the rest.
Hi, everyone.
I would like Marina for you to tell us, how did the Alaska option came up? How did you come up with that city?
Yeah. Hi. I'm Marina. I'm in San Francisco now. Yeah. Luna came up with the idea and tell me like because she wants to see the Northern Lights, and I love the idea. So we started to talk in November, and then we start to planning when we are going to do the trip. And as Luna says, um, we change a lot the plans because going to Alaska requires a lot of planning, because if you want to see the Northern Lights, we did a research and we realized that there is a month that is a peak of Northern Lights, and we plan to go in January. And then we realized that there are more possibilities to see the Northern Lights in March. So we changed all the trip again, and we choose a week in March, and then we changed again because a friend that traveled in December told us that the moon has to be dark. So we changed again, but finally we traveled to Alaska the next week that we already planned, and we were able to see the Northern Lights 3 nights in a row. So was so excited, was so like amazing. It was an amazing trip, and we saw another things too. Is the North Pole there? Is the Santa Claus house? The highest peak in USA is a really a national park with a big mountain. It's awesome. And we saw a glacier there are hot springs that around all the snow. All Alaska is a pretty like different experience. I think that another places that we travel around the country, you can see like another environment that is awesome and really adventurous.
Wow, that seems amazing, that trip, seeing the Northern Lights 3 nights in a row. And from your story, I think we already have many takeaways, like you just met in the airport to go to become an au pair and have traveled not only to Alaska, but previous trips together. Both of your host families are very different, but you were able to do the same type of plans. And also during the current times, you just did to adapt a little bit doing the COVID test, but you were able to continue with your regular plans.
Yeah, it's important that all that you say that all have families are different. It's important during like this time, Alaska, you need to take a test before going, but it's important maybe you can ask them to do the COVID test before and after you travel, and use the mask when you come back during the days that before getting the test again to prove that you are negative. There are options that some have families like I agree with them. You can still travel. The important part is the planning, more planning about the like with this situation, but you can like manage it. Maybe that we talk is all important, like communicate with them, talk with them. They, for example, here, before getting the vaccine, because now we have the vaccine, kind of hard to like travel by plane, but I told them the idea and they love the idea to go to Alaska. So it's good. It's like,
that's amazing. And that's another good tip. Do your research because the
yeah.
cannot it.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that amazing experience. I see in the pictures that it wasn't only the Northern Lights, you also rode some bikes, visited the North Pole. So it seems an amazing trip. I'm jealous. But about another trip, well, that you already did, the road trip through California, through the West Coast. Maybe Dora from Hungary can also tell us about her trip to California. So Dora, are you here with us? I don't see you.
I'm here.
Hello.
Hi
Hi,
everyone.
Dora. Thank you for joining. So I would also love to hear about your experience to that road trip. Did you go by yourself? How did you plan for it?
Well, I went with two au pair friends, a French and an Italian friend, and we were planning like separate parts. I was searching for the van because we were renting a van because we went for a 9 days and 8 nights trip. So it was the easiest and I think the cheapest one maybe because we could separate the prices and everything. And the other girls, they were making the foods and the plans, where to stop, what to see, and so on. So it was really great. And well, the stops, we were planning that together, where to stop, what to see. That was obvious that we started from Venice, Santa Monica, and we went up next to the coast and until San Francisco. So we had a lot of stuff, and there is even a European type of city, Solvang. It's a Danish city in America. It was so special because we were in Europe.
Wow.
It was amazing. Yeah, and after San Francisco, we spent, I think, 3 or 4 days in Lake Tahoe because that was our favorite spot. It was just amazing. It was like, wow, we almost cried when we saw that landscape. It was amazing. Yeah, so definitely worth it, but a lot of driving. California is huge, and when we were driving back to LA, Los Angeles, then it was 1 day. Like we needed some stop, of course, and through the desert, but it's worth it. It was so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Trips are the best, really. Road trips. So it was
That's
amazing.
amazing, Dora. So you went road tripping through, you rented a van with two other friends from two other countries that weren't yours, like one from France, the other one from Italy, right?
Yes.
And the three of you planned this, how far ahead? And also, can you explain to us, was it too different to plan this trip during this situation with the COVID, or like practically the same?
I think it was even easier. I mean, because of COVID, we wanted to sleep in a van, and it was even cheaper and safer. So our family was totally agree with it because then we won't spend nights in hotel rooms and we won't meet a lot of people. We will just be outside. So they were totally fine with that. Of course, it wasn't planned like they said they wouldn't like us to go to Las Vegas, for example, but we didn't. So we were just almost only outside everywhere. So it was pretty cool.
That's amazing. So you would say that your favorite part was Lake Tahoe?
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. We were planning to go down to see some national parks, but we needed to skip it because we couldn't leave Lake Tahoe. It was amazing. Like in the Twilight movies. I swear. More beautiful.
That's amazing. And have you done other trips by yourself as an au pair?
We are, so here in Utah, we have a lot of camping trips because Utah is so diverse and a lot of opportunity to camp and just be outside, do outdoorsy stuff and so on. And it's easy if our weekends are free with some of au pair friends. And we just plan something after Friday work. We are just going somewhere, Sunday back. So it's perfect. And everything is like, even if we want to go to the desert, it's like 4 hours. So it's not even far, I think. So yeah, and camping, it's even cheaper, I think safer, like because of COVID. So, and more fun.
How do you manage, and maybe Luna and Marina can also answer a little bit about this, how do you manage to save money to do all these trips and be up there for 9 days?
Well, we didn't spend a lot of money, especially because of the beginning. So before the California road trip, it was just the COVID started. So we didn't spend any money, I think. So that was a good help. Thank you, COVID. And usually every week, I think we don't spend a lot of money. Mostly we spend like for travels. Yeah, I think it's like more special if I spend money for traveling and exploring, and I will have moments, not clothes. That's my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah, is I think it's all about organize your everything. Is that you can organize maybe your week, and maybe you can per week save some money for traveling, and then you can have it, or like I think it's all about organized. If you are planning a trip, you can do that. Yeah, as like I'm agree. It's like my objective is like one of my first one is like traveling to explore the USA. So it's great to save money for that.
Yeah, I've been traveling a lot here. Sorry.
Yes.
And it's important that you book everything in advance, because when you are closer to the date, everything is more expensive. And now with COVID, you don't have a lot of options. So I think one important tip is like book in advance, because you can have the things more cheaper. And in my case, I try to save at least $50 a week for travels. Like I have that, and when I don't spend all my money during the month, I try to save all that money that I have, and I put it away. So that works for me.
I agree, and I can also talk about my experience saying that I did the same. I saved to travel, and it was the best spent money. Well, and Dora, you're being an au pair in Utah right now, and Leanne, I don't know if you're there. If you're there, say hi. We would love to see you. And Leanne also did a trip with her host family to Utah. So maybe Leanne, you can tell us a little bit about it. I still don't hear you or see you. So if you're there, just unmute yourself and please share your experience with us. But Leanne also did an amazing trip to Utah. She was telling me all about it before. And while we wait for her, maybe you can both, well, the three of you, Luna, Marina, and Dora, explain a little bit more about how is this experience, the traveling part, make a difference in your trip, in your experience as an au pair?
For me, it's amazing. I mean, I have my host family, and they understand that for me, the travel part is important, because I want to know like all the country. Like my goal before I arrived here was to go to 50 states. But well, it was a little expensive go to the 50 states. I'm in the half right now. I'm in the middle. I'm in 25. But they understand, and they try to take me to different places and show me all around the places that we are living, because we moved from New York to Kentucky. So for me, it's pretty huge, and it makes my experience completely different, because I can travel alone, with friends, and I can see different things. So I really like it. I can see like a lot of parts of United States, and all of them, they are completely different. It's not like you have two places, they are the same.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm totally agree with Luna about that. The country is totally different. I was in the East Coast my first year, and I'm really happy to move to the West Coast my second year, because it's all different. Like the landscapes, the culture, to how people live, what people eat, to is everything. So it's awesome to explore, to travel. Is what Dora says too, is like in California you can find like a Danish town, and it seems Europe, and then you can drive and be in the coast and drive 2 hours and be in Lake Tahoe. California is awesome. You can find like a wine country too, with like a lot of like you can go to see the grapes and then move, and it's completely different. I think Utah, I would love to go to Utah. The national parks and everything, the landscape changed a lot. So traveling is awesome. Traveling with friends is really fun, but you can travel by yourself too. It will be fun too. And yeah, explore all the country is really worth it. I think it's really worth it to save money to do that. Yeah, it's one of I think the best parts of the experience.
Exactly. I have to agree. And you have to see Utah. I mean, everyone should see Utah. It's crazy. Yeah. I was traveling some with my host parents too. I think every host parents like, they feel that they need to share where you live. And this is awesome. I was traveling with my host family to Arizona twice. But yeah, Utah, it's like so diverse. And during like 4 or 5 hours, you can go to the snow from the desert. So it's like crazy. There are 5 national parks. I have to see one more, but I checked them. So
there are many. I would like to go for a week.
Yeah,
there are a lot of national parks.
Yes, love it. Yes, a lot of things to see. And not even just national parks, like a lot of other.
Yeah, and that is good to know, like to tell everyone too that still in COVID, there are many places outside that you can explore, like national parks and a lot of places. So that's awesome.
Yes, at least we can do always something.
I think all that you're sharing is so wonderful, because it's true. The United States is such a diverse country that you will always need more time to check and to look at new places, new environments, new landscapes. It's amazing. And I think you showcase some of the rare parts like Alaska, but also the road trip through the West Coast, which is a must. I think that for all of you that have not traveled to the US yet, you should all do a bucket list of all the places you would like to see and start checking, because it's amazing. And in a year, you will get to see a lot. And also something different that you have both shared is that there's not only many places to see, but also many ways to travel in the US. You can travel by yourself, you can travel with your friends, you can travel with your new best friends that you just met as an au pair, and you can travel with your host family too. So it's an amazing part of the program. Right now, it's also an amazing time to travel. Thank you, girls, for all your tips. We always need to be safe, but make the most out of our time and the most out of the experience. I really thank you for this. And I don't know if you have any last minute tip that you would like to give for the traveling part.
Save money, girls and boys.
Save money for traveling. Plan ahead. Talk to your host family. And enjoy, really, and enjoy.
And do COVID test.
Use mask, wear a mask. But yeah, enjoy. Enjoy, like when you start to planning, enjoy the trip.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, ladies. We're going to take just a 2-minute break here, and I'd like to invite you to go ahead and scan this QR code to learn a little bit more about being an au pair and finding out if it's the right option for you.